this is going to get done, and Dan Houston will get to Collingwood. As part of that, Gold Coast heavily involved. Gold Coast getting John Noble as well, and they probably get a little bit of salary off the books for Jack Lukosius and Rory Atkins as well. Who would have thought the Rat would play a big part in this term? And then it leads into the Dan Rioli discussion, where the Suns might have to part with at least pick 6 and 23 for Dan Rioli. It looks like picks will come back though to help the Suns match a bid on Leo Lombard, who's their top academy guy. They lost some picks in this year's draft as part of this Dan Houston deal as well. But the 6 and 23 for Dan Rioli, is this just another case of the Suns paying overs just simply because of location, lack of club history and lack of club success?
So historically, we've seen that the Suns just go, get it done. Send Bosey off and put in pick, what was it, 3 or whatever? 7, yeah. Throw that in as well because we need it off the books at this wage. Get it done. Really, Rioli should go for pick 6.
Yep.
And Richmond know that, well, if we hold out, there's a real chance to pinch pick 23 off them as well. The fair deal is pick 6 for Daniel Rioli.
If that.
So it's, yes. Yeah. I mean, I love the kid. He's a lovely young man. He's a tremendous player. He's a fantastic player. I don't think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he's going to be an all-time great. He's going to be a darn good player, and he already is. But he's a back flanker, and people will say, well, he won a best and fairest. He won it in an 18th team who didn't look like beating too many. So, and that's a back flanker. It's starting down there a fair bit. Pick 6 is more than adequate. But, yeah, they'll probably throw it in the end.
But teams keep doing this because the Suns live in a different market.
Which you wrote about extensively on the website on Friday afternoon, Maxie.
For the Suns, the most important thing about Dan Rioli is that he wants to play for the Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah,
that's why they have to pay overs for him, because they've done that historically. They found it tough to get players there. They have all these extra draft picks. They're getting 2 future firsts in the Dan Houston deal.
Yep.
So, again, we're going to go into next year, and again, they'll be auctioning off one of those.
Which will help, because next year they have got Zeke Hewlin, who's Bodie Hewlin's brother, could be the best player in it at the moment.
Right.
He's been drawn comparisons to Errol Goulden in terms of his winger ability, left footer, not tall, but just incredibly silky skilled and hits the scoreboard as well. So that hence the Goulden comparison. So that will help them potentially trade down next year's order.
So he got Bodie's share of skills.
Yeah. Well, Bodie finished second in the best and fairest at the Gold Coast Suns.
He had a good year after a rocky start. I think young Waitman carved him up in the first quarter at Ballarat.
That's right, yes.
But gee, he had a good year after that. But he's a straight-ahead player. Once again, he's not going to play All-Australian or anything. Well, I hope he does. He probably got designs on it himself. But, yeah, well, if his brother's got all those skills...
A lot better, apparently.
Well, it just doesn't matter as much to the Suns giving up that extra pick, because it gets swallowed up in a bid for Leo Lombard.
Yeah.
So they don't really... I understand that you look at pick 6 and 23 on the surface and say that's overs, and it probably is, and it would be on any fair and equal marketplace, but like you said, they're operating in a different market. It doesn't matter to them as much.
And Derm, in terms of the overpayment of the Suns at the trade table, does it only fix itself, this issue, once the Suns start to experience some on-field success? And by that we mean playing finals over a couple of years as well, and hopefully winning finals.
I'd love to give you an elaborate, smart answer. But yes.
Yeah.
They just have to climb the ladder before we get an equality in this market, in this area of the market, in draft picks and draft positions picks. So we've got to wait for them to actually climb somewhere substantial where they get into the 8 and it starts to level out a bit, and they have to fight and become incredibly... At the moment, they're like the bloke who just wants to pay off his 3-bedroom brick veneer and he wins Taslotto. He got a whole lot left in his pocket after he's done that. He says, what do I do with it?
Only problem is, if you look at the Giants, they've been pretty good for a while. They still have players leaving in this cycle every few years.
But they always end up with a top-line pick who they at least look at themselves.
Yes.
So they use their top-end draft picks on players, put them in their system and look at them and say, that's a 200-game player for us. Or... he's good, somebody will want him, not showing what we need, somebody will give us a second round and we can package that up with something else.
Yeah. It works for them, but it's still a cycle, and the cycle is caused by the fact that they are not in Victoria. and so many of the players are from there.
Well, we'll keep an eye on realestate.com.au for all the 3-bedroom veneer and so what that goes at in the end.